So whisper it quietly. This could be a happy ending, Peter.
It could be a happy ending, but it's amazing how quickly the MOD have responded in this moment when they have been procrastinating ever since this evacuation started. I mean, the NowZed team have actually done an amazing operation, an amazing campaign to get Penn to this position. And we knew earlier on today that this situation was as it is, but we kept a lockdown and a silence about it because we didn't want in any way to jeopardize the mission.
Right, quite right.
And now, all of a sudden, the MOD have jumped in and, as it were, seized the moment and said, this has now happened and it makes them look very good. When in fact, this could have happened days and days ago, and Penn staff could have got out as well. So I just find it, I don't mean to be churlish about this, and I'm delighted with the boots on the ground, the Marines who are helping a fellow Marine to get the animals into the cargo hold. But I am just rather dismayed that the MOD, first of all, didn't wait and allow the NowZed team to announce this because they've worked so hard to make this happen. And I also resent the fact that they're still referring to Penn and his pets.
Yeah, they're not pets, are they?
They're not pets. These are rescued animals. And I believe one of them is a dog that is being returned to the mother of a fallen Marine. I mean, this is not a pet. This is really, it's so patronizing, all of this. And it is particularly patronizing when they have been so reticent in their support up until this moment, when the magic moment, the big PR moment is that there is this heroic man, Penn Farthing, on the tarmac, loading up the animals, and now it's the MOD who made it happen.
And is it the charter flight, because they were being quite vague about the kind of transportation that was available to Penn? Is it the charter flight that we've been talking about all week?
Yes, it's a privately donated charter flight from a very, very wealthy American benefactor who is a great animal lover and wanted very much to make this happen. And he has paid for all of this. It hasn't cost the British taxpayer a penny. And as I keep repeating, it also hasn't taken a seat from another refugee. It is completely privately paid for.
Well, you and I were hoping to be on that flight earlier in this week, but events overtook us. But presumably, is our friend Dominic Dyer on board?
No. In fact, none of the team went out on that chartered flight from the UK, purely really for security reasons. I couldn't go out on it because it would mean when I came back, I would have to quarantine for 10 or 12 days hotel, and I just couldn't afford that time. I mean, I'm so sad I couldn't be there because I wanted to celebrate this great moment with this heroic man, Penn Farthing, and his wonderful team. But no, that couldn't happen. And it's probably better that way around anyway.
Yeah. You and me both, Peter. We were hoping to both go there. And as you say, I wanted to shake his hand and share that fantastic moment. But I agree with you about the MOD. I think Mr. Wallace has behaved petulantly through this week because whatever he says, he clearly was overruled. He wanted to be in charge of this situation. He came up with that snappy slogan. That's why he won't stop referring to them as pets, because it destroys his alliteration, you see. He said, I will not prioritize pets over people. So he's got to keep using the word pets, even though they're not pets. And I think he's behaved petulantly because he was suddenly reminded that he's not in charge, the Prime Minister is.
Totally. And I think he was rather petulant as well towards Dominic Dyer, who has done an amazing job on the PR of this whole campaign. And he has been very emotional about it. And I think that he put Ben Wallace's nose got seriously out of joint with the interchanges between him and Dom.
Well, you are making the statement now, Peter. Never mind the MOD trying to steal the glory. Just sum up just what you and Dominic and Ian McGill and Mark Abrahams and, of course, Penn have been through over the last, 2 weeks?
it's about 2 weeks. I think none of us have really slept very well over the last 2 weeks. We've been in constant contact with Penn and with each other, and there have been constant updates. And we've always hung on to the hope that this heroic man would actually get out. I mean, he has been so completely committed and brave throughout all of this. He refused to jump ship. He was offered a ticket 10 days ago. He said, I will not leave without my staff and I will not leave without my animals. And he's stuck to that all the way down the line. And yesterday, he would have got his staff out as well had it not been for this strange visa processing adjustment that Joe Biden made. He got to the final gate, and they said, you can come through with your animals, but you can't come through with your staff. Sure. And I find that very suspicious, because there's been a lot of pressure this week from the Taliban saying, we don't want a brain drain. We don't want any more Afghani citizens to leave. And suddenly, a wonderful team who are very highly trained and very professional were not allowed to leave yesterday, which I think is just dreadful. But it's very difficult to sum this up because it is so heroic and so powerful. It's been an amazing 10 days, amazing world support. Operation Ark and Penn Farthing, who has been the voice of Kabul, has become a cause célèbre. It's been sensational. Our support from throughout the world has been amazing. And I just salute everyone who's been involved with this.
Just to clarify, Peter, so Penn and the animals are waiting. Are the staff getting out? The 69 staff and their families, or are they stuck?
The staff and the families are still in Kabul, and that is something that has to be dealt with as well.
Okay, but Penn and the 170 animals, yes,
they're all out. Yes. Yeah.
See, I'll tell you what I find frustrating. I mean, that's a fantastic story, obviously. And
amazing.
I'm so thrilled. But I'll tell you what I find strange about that. Then you've got an aeroplane. The animals, as we've always said, will be in the cargo hold. Now, presumably, you're going to have a reasonably empty plane because the 69 people aren't there.
Yes, absolutely. And all along the line, Penn has offered spaces on that plane to anyone who could get on it. Now, it's so disorganized and badly arranged, I don't think anyone can get on the flight. It's absolutely absurd. And it's completely absurd that his team couldn't just be let through today and on the plane and away. It's shocking.
It really is. And last night's bombings, I mean, that must have, you must have thought that's the final spanner in the works. How did you get over that obstacle, that hurdle?
Well, I was so despondent last night because I thought that would shut down everything, because Penn had clearly...
My wife was crying.
I'm sure. We'll give my best to Henrietta, won't you? I mean,
I will.
Well, you know, what is remarkable again in terms of the loyalty and commitment of his staff, I believe that when they got back to the clinic last night, they were all so deeply depressed, but they realized that Penn is now a target. And in a strange way, they were more at risk with him than without him, if you see what I mean. So I think they agreed together as a team that Penn should go on today with the animals if they could get through, and that they would then rethink what happens to all the staff afterwards. And I think that is just like Penn making the bravest gesture to remain with them all the time. For them to say, no, you go, is just heroic.
It really is. But you know, our thoughts are with them. The Prime Minister has said he'll move heaven and earth to help anyone who is stuck there that should have got out. Hopefully, it will include those people. But you know, the irony of this, Peter, is that all week the people have been annoying us, talking about don't prioritise pets over people. Well, you know, we've ended up that the animals have been prioritised over the people. Ludicrous.
Well, I mean, they haven't been prioritized over people. I mean, there is, I understand what you're saying.
I know what you're saying. But they got on the plane and the people didn't. That's mad.
And the people didn't, absolutely. It is crazy, absolutely. And that was never, as we understand it, the intention. And what is also interesting is that those who are saying we are not going to prioritize pets over people are celebrating the fact, being the first people to actually post that the pets are getting out. And they're being helped by the UK Marines. And, so it's just snatching the celebrity PR from this. It's just rather...
I just can't get my head around it that the animals are getting out and the people aren't. So you're going to have a passenger seats all empty and the cargo hold full of animals. It's extraordinary, but it is, let's not diminish, a fantastic semi-ending to this story. When they make the movie of this, and I know Hollywood genuinely have been expressing great interest into turning this fabulous story, Operation Ark, into a film. Are you going to play yourself?
Oh, well, yes, nobody else could play me.
That's true, Peter.